help. Don't we all, I think to myself. Miss, I need a pencil. Miss, I need an eraser. Boy, these kids ask for a lot from me, and they always need something, and they don't even have the common decency to use my last name. How did I even get to this point? I mean, I'm 24 years old. I already have a few years of education under my belt. And I think to myself, how did I get to the point where I'm in charge of changing the lives of students who are less than a decade younger than me? I never even wanted to be a teacher. Doesn't include a handsome salary. The hours are way longer than they promise you. And if you had asked me growing up where teacher was on the list of future prospects, it would be somewhere in between bowler and window washer. I remember the first teacher I ever loved though. My 4th grade teacher, Miss Ray. She was amazing. She inspired us and she protected us really from what was going on in the outside world. I remember that she was so strict and she made students so scared, but I always felt so safe around her. In fact, for Christmas one year I knitted her a scarf, and I'll never forget the look of joy and celebration on her face when I handed it to her. She wore it every day that it was windy out, even after I had left her classroom. That was also the year we started taking mandatory gang prevention classes at my school. Miss Ray had this way of protecting us and making us in our little Los Angelinos minds feel like there was nothing to fear about gangs, that we were untouchable from them. I realize now that she was just protecting us from the possibilities of what could happen growing up in East LA. Miss, I need to talk to you. Something happened at home last night. Miss, I need a new backpack. Mine ripped and my family can't afford the school supplies that I need. It took 7 more years before I found another teacher like Miss Ray. A teacher who made me feel so confident and secure in the person that I was becoming. Unlike Miss Ray, he didn't protect us from the things that were going on in the world around us. We were old enough to recognize that there were certain injustices in the world. Instead, he taught us to encounter them head on and to fight against them, as scary as that might be. But while robberies, drive-by shootings, and drug deals were going down on my street, I was in class learning about the great works of Western civilization. And while my peers were dealing with teen pregnancy and joining gangs and dropping out of school, I was in his classroom after school working on studying for AP tests and applying to any college that sent me a free application. I loved Mr. Myers, not just because he was a handsome teacher, but because he taught me the values that I needed as I became an adult. Miss, I need a snack. I'm hungry and I haven't eaten in 3 days. Miss, I just need some space. My dad has a court date today and I don't know if he's gonna wind up in jail. Miss, I need some time alone to get my mind off of things. My brother passed away in a motorcycle accident this weekend. My students have always needed something. College was a great time for me. I moved away to Seattle and I got to spend some time in a new city, a new place. I stayed in a neighborhood known as Queen Anne, one of the safest places in the world as far as I was concerned. And I was excited to get away from the place of poverty and concern that I had grown up in. It was hard leaving my mom and my little brother behind, but I also knew that they needed me to go on and get an education. At SPU, I had a mentor named Susan who became the greatest teacher of all in my life. She inspired me to get involved, and I did. I did everything, including starting a hip-hop dance class with my best friend, to publishing a research article in the Psychology Journal when I was only 19 years old. Because of that, the president of the university at SPU allowed me to ring the legacy bell, usually an honor reserved only for students whose parents and grandparents had gone to college. I was the first generation student to be able to do so. Unfortunately, a week before classes ended and we were going to graduate, a campus shooter came to our school and ended that safety and security that I had enjoyed for the last 4 years. Instead of going to the funeral that I knew I should go to, I had already made a promise to move to Las Vegas. So even though I knew that I needed encouragement, I needed someone to be there for me, I knew that there were needs in Las Vegas as well. I had signed a contract with CFA, and this will now be my 3rd year in the Las Vegas Valley beyond those 2 years. And what I know more than anything is my students have always needed me. Miss, I need someone to talk to. My best friend committed suicide. Miss, I need somewhere to go because my parents have been into fights all night long this week. And miss, my siblings are getting spread out into foster care. And I will always be there for my students' needs. I mean, my last name will change to Mrs. Davison this winter, but it doesn't matter.